Man.
All right, here we go.
Mm.
It was my
Work for a
phone.
minute.
Huh?
So I was getting worried for a minute.
I know. I had to log on from my phone. I couldn't do it. Hey, Miss Wholeness. Um, yeah, I was trying to use my iPad, but I guess it doesn't work on there. So we'll just jam to the music until some more people get logged on, maybe a couple of minutes. It's got to be fun. What you know about this, Craig? Oh,
Of
you
course
see
I know
Coco?
about that. My brother used to play that all the time. What you know about it is the question.
I know a little something, a little something.
I need Coco on here with me
Huh? No, you want Coco on here with you?
the next
Coco, you
time.
want to join in? I can invite you too, girl.
Coco is full of knowledge. See my buddy Donna here, Kevin White.
Huh?
I see my buddy
Kevin,
Donna. Can you hear me?
Donna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Hey, Tangela.
Kim Wallace.
I'm trying to find my
Hey, Kim.
Coco don't want to get on. She say I'm doing a great job.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah, Coco. Me and Coco gonna have to talk offline.
I know. I see y'all was had a little connection or whatever.
She's cool.
All
And
right.
Angel,
Okay.
my buddy.
Huh?
I said Angel's my buddy.
Yeah, that's my boo right there. I'm trying to get myself set up because this not working on my iPad is messing me all up. So let me just try to get myself situated so the phone don't call. Okay, that
I'm
should
ready
do
when
it.
you
All right,
are.
all right. That's it, huh?
I said I'm ready when you are.
Let me go. Okay, let me go ahead and get started. Hey,
Hey,
everybody.
hey, hey,
It's
hey,
about
hey.
to be fun. I'm excited. Okay, Craig, you know I've been you in forever, like years. It don't make no sense, huh?
No, remember I saw you in the car?
I'm talking about like hanging out. Remember? Used
Yeah,
to have
I
those
know.
parties
We'll
at
get
your house.
together.
Okay. All
Say it
right.
again.
All right. So, huh?
I couldn't hear you good. Go
All
ahead.
right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So what I want to do is first of all start out with introductions. Just introduce yourself to the people, Craig. Tell them who you are. What anything that you want to know about you.
I am Craig Dyson. I am a life coach. I just don't have nobody to coach at this time. However, I have a lot of female friends, and I've invited some of them on here now. And from talking to them,
So
I've
Craig
learned a
said
lot of things. Say that again.
she said she said say her name. She wants you Keisha trying to get fit. She wants you to say her name.
Oh, Jesus. Keisha is the spokesperson for Herbalife. So if anyone is interested, this is her plug. If anyone is interested in losing weight or living a healthy life, you can contact me and I'll get you with Keisha. She a
Okay. All
mess.
right. All right. Sorry. Go ahead. Your introduction. Go ahead.
All right, so again, I'm Craig Dyson. I'm 52 years old. I've had some relationship experience. I guess that's the best way of putting it. And I read your little posts every day, giving advice and people giving their examples of what they're going through. And as you know, I always put my little spin on it. So it's
Mm-hmm.
my turn. I guess I'm on the in the cat seat.
Yeah, it's not the cat seat. It's the fun seat.
The
We're gonna
fun
have
seat.
some fun.
Let's do it.
All right. So, for those that don't know me, my name is Siobhan Carter. I am the You Relationship Coach, and that means that I am passionate about helping women develop healthy relationships with themselves that foster healthy relationships with others. So, I post relationship conversations every day, or questions or scenarios every day on my page, just to get that good dialogue going between men and women. I am passionate about healthy interaction, healthy relationships. I just published my second book, Dear Miss Wholeness. Woo! Shout out to Dear Miss Wholeness. So you can visit my website, SiobhanCarter.com, to purchase your copy. It tells my story of unhealthy relationships, marriage, divorce, how I bounced
Join the
back
club.
from that. you know, all that stuff, all kind of good stuff in there. So yeah, I know 52, right? I wouldn't have thought you were, I thought you were
I
still
look
in your
good. I
20s.
look good. I see my buddy Ivy on there. Oh, wow.
Yes, everybody is on here, so we ready to get started. So, so the purpose of these Facebook Lives, I wanted to have a male co-host. This is the fourth one. I've been doing this every Wednesday all month. So this Craig is going to end it out for the single men. Next month is going to be for married men. And it's going to be every Wednesday. But I wanted to have this dialogue because I love the conversations that we have on the relationship posts every day. So why not bring it, you know, to Facebook Live and let's talk about it. So let's start off the conversation with the one that you and Coco Rowe were talking about yesterday. You remember?
Yes. Yes.
You remember what that post was about? So let me pull up the scenario. So that was about a young, let me get the scenario going so I can okay. Yeah, hold on. Let me get the scenario up so I can, why is this thing? Okay, it's not gonna let me do it. Never mind. Okay, so it was about a man who has been divorced and getting back into the dating scene, and he met a woman, and I don't know if he met her online or whatever, but they connected via Facebook. She sent him a friend request, he accepted, and then he started to read her posts on her Facebook page, and it looked like she was obsessed with being in a relationship. Like one of her posts included, "I hope this man is the one for me." So we got into a conversation because the man was like, you know, is that a red flag for him? And so he wanted, you know, to ask other people, was that a red flag for him if she seemed like she was obsessed with being in a relationship? So we had some good dialogue. A couple of us said, yes, you know, that could be a red flag and he just needs to proceed with caution. And then Coco Rowe had a different perspective, just saying, not why is it necessarily a red flag in this day and time of social media? Maybe she just, you know, wants to her intentions known, put her stuff out there. So what did you think about that, Craig?
I agree with Coco tremendously because we always look at people and try to judge them, but we don't want to be judged. And I agree, you shouldn't put your information on the Facebook. No one should put on there, I can't wait to get a man, I can't wait to get a man. Because regardless of what you think, people judge you by what you put on Facebook. And especially when you're talking about your personal relationships, I know several friends who have relationships, but they never put anything on Facebook about it. But she was like desperately seeking Susan. She needed some, she wanted a man, and I understand that.
Yeah, and that was the thing. And I guess for me, I saw it as a red flag because the way the scenario read, it was like you know, a lot of posts like that. Like it was not only just that one post, but almost every day she's posting something about finding a man or wanting a man or needing a man. So, you know, to me, it's like, you know, I don't know. I didn't say that he needed to not, you know, talk to her at all, but just proceed with caution, get to know her, not judge her, like you said, off of her Facebook post, but, you know, get to know who she is, and it'll show up if that's what she's out there to do.
But until, excuse me, until Coco made her comments, I was going to say the same thing. He need to run. But like she
Yeah,
said, are we judging her for her mental aptitude? I forgot
yeah.
what she said, but I agree with Coco. Coco's awesome. I agree with her. I did. I really
Yeah,
did because sometimes we'll read stuff on Facebook or from friends and we'll just jump to a judgment without
yeah,
thinking about it. And
absolutely.
we all express ourselves different ways.
That's very true. That's very true. So, you know, it's just, you know, get to know people. Don't judge a book by its cover or the posts that are on their social media page. Some people just go on social media for entertainment purposes, you know, just to go and post or whatever. So you just never know what she may have been thinking or what her motives were for posting those kind of things. So
I,
yeah.
I want to ask you a question real quick.
Okay.
What is the why are women so pressed to get married?
Mm,
And I and I
mm.
I understand if you're in the church, you believe in God and you want to do the right thing. But some women just want to be married,
Yeah.
I guess, so they can say they're married. So can you elaborate on that?
Absolutely. So I'll speak from my experience, and ladies chime in to share with your experience, what your experience is, and the answer to that question. Because I'm not the expert, I'm just sharing, one perspective. But for me, even though I've been married and now divorced, so my mindset is a little different. But before I got married, I was real pressed to get married. I think it was just that desire, just a natural desire for me to be married. And then, I wanted to have kids, and I'm a Christian. So it's like I wanted to do it God's way, and I wanted to be married first and then have kids, to do it that way. So for me, it was just this strong desire that would not leave. And so I put it into my own hands. I didn't wait for God to do it. I did it. And then I said it was God, that was in the midst of it, when really it was me just orchestrating things the whole time, because I was trying to get what I wanted. But yeah, so I think it was just part of it. Yeah, we can have sex without guilt. Yeah, no, that's real talk, Coco. So, wanting to have sex, wanting to have kids, and just wanting to have that companionship. I had a thought in my mind, I should be married by this time, and then here come the kids, and then the White House and the picket fence. So I think, it was just this desire. But now, after having been married, it's like, oh no, I ain't rushing into that, because I know what it's all
Hello.
about.
Hello. Yeah.
So like that anxiety isn't there anymore.
Yeah, I think that when girls are young, that society tells them to be successful, they need to be married, they need to have the nice job, so forth and so on, 2.5 kids and a dog. But that's not everybody's scenario, and that doesn't not necessarily make you successful because you're not married and have those things. And a lot of women press men. This is why I'll probably get in trouble. They'll press men into getting married, and men do it, and then they regret it, and then that's when the big fallout comes, because he really didn't want to do it anyway because it was fine the way it was.
Yep, yep. Wow, that's interesting. So what does it feel like when you say women press men? What does that feel like? Like, what does it look like from a man's perspective? What is pressing?
We've been dating 4 years, and you want the cow without the milk and all this and that, and you're like, so then the pressure comes on, and then the family and friends like, yeah, I've been living together 5, 6 years. What you gonna do? So of course, then there's pressure on you, and then you're like, you know what? Maybe I'll marry this heifer. Maybe I'll just go ahead and do what I'm kidding about that. But maybe I'll go ahead and marry her because we have a kid or whatever this case scenario may be. But your
Yeah.
heart is not really in it. I don't think men
Yeah.
just get up in the morning and say, you know what? I'm ready to get married. I think
Mm-hmm.
women do,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think men do.
So that's the question. Kim asked the question, why do men avoid marriage? Like, why isn't a man ready for marriage?
I think that men want to play the field as long as they can, and then once they get a certain age, they be like, you know what, the field is getting smaller and smaller, and I need somebody to take care of me. But I think when you're in your early 20s and 30s, you like, I think one of the things, and I'm probably gonna get in trouble for saying this too, we're always looking for the best one, and there is
Uh,
no such thing as the best one. She
yeah.
look good, but she looks better. She has a nice job. She has a better job. So we trying to get a 10 when we're not
Mm-hmm.
even 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So
so I think that,
when
go
does
ahead.
a man get ready then?
I think once he in his late 30s, early 40s, I think
Mm-hmm.
people get married in their 20 years old. It's nothing but a recipe for disaster. Because
Mm-hmm.
especially when you haven't had a lot of relationships,
Mm-hmm.
you need to be able to experience different people and different likes and all that. When you've been with
Mm-hmm.
somebody from high school, it's not gonna work.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's interesting what Joanne says. Women prepare for marriage since childhood. That's very true for a lot of us. We have baby dolls and Barbie dolls with the Ken dolls, and then they get married and all that kind of stuff. So it's almost like we're being groomed unintentionally, I'm sure, to for marriage. And men are just little boys playing with dolls. I mean, not dolls, but toys and trucks and all that kind of stuff. And so it's just different in how many of us are raised. Hmm.
And I see Sherilyn said, "Are men always looking for someone better?" Yeah, they
Hmm.
are. They really are. And it's unfortunate, but it's the truth.
Hmm.
Um, And I think that, as we all know, women mature quicker than men. So when you
Hmm.
guys are ready to settle down, we ready to go out and play. So it doesn't always work that way. And we may lose out. I didn't see what Angel said, but we may lose out on something good trying to be
Yeah.
greedy.
Yeah. And she said it's for men, it's about timing. Do you agree with that?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. When a man's ready to settle down, he will. But he can have 4 or 5 kids all across town. If he's not ready, he's not gonna settle down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the
And
truth. So,
women are more mature, and like you said, they're I don't want to use the word bred, but they're conditioned to get
mm-hmm.
married, have that family, and
Mm-hmm.
move forward and be successful in life. And men like, I
Yeah.
want to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
still little
Yeah.
boys.
Yeah, right. And that's the truth. So what would you say to a woman who maybe with a man and like you said has been with him for 4 years and he seems to be dragging his feet? What advice would you give to that woman?
It's well, it can be two ways. You can give him an ultimatum. Hey, either we're gonna do this or we aren't, which never works well. Or
Mm-hmm.
you can say you can make a decision yourself. You know what? I'm gonna remove myself from this situation, and then
Mm-hmm.
if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But
Yeah.
for the most part, I mean, you should know your man after a certain amount of years what he want to do.
Yep.
And
That's
then
the truth.
women, yeah, women use slogans like "we just playing house" and this, that, and the other, and that aggravates them. I think another issue is, and I shouldn't even go in here either. There are so many
Go.
in the African American community. There are so
Mm-hmm.
many eligible women, black women, with good
Mm-hmm.
jobs and doing their thing. So
Mm-hmm.
a guy who's doing well, he has the pick of the litter.
Mm, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You have guys who doing well, then you have the undesirables. But if a guy know he's got a good job, metro job or whatever, he's making good money, and he ain't got a whole
Mm-hmm.
bunch of kids across town, he like a lottery pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's
he's going to look for the finest woman that he can get.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what would you tell then to a woman who I guess what would be the harm? What's the danger or the warning sign that you would tell to a woman who's been in a relationship 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, however many years, and he doesn't seem to be desiring to get married, and she presses him, and then he say, okay, like you said, let me just go on and marry the heifer. Are the downsides of going into a marriage like that when he's almost like he's dragged to the altar?
That is the downside because he feel like he's dragged to the altar. He didn't make the decision. You know, the Bible says when a man find a woman, he find of a good thing. But if a woman finding a
Yeah.
man, that's not, I shouldn't say that's not a good thing, but that's not the natural flow of what Christians believe, should I say. And some people just make it
Yeah.
work. But I think the
Yeah.
biggest thing, and everybody say the same thing, you have to
Mm-hmm.
be friends. And a lot of
Mm,
times
that's so.
we jump into the romance part and without trying to be friends. Because if somebody, when you see older couples, even when the sex goes away or fades, they still have that
Mm,
friendship to depend on.
yeah. Yeah. So how does a couple develop that friendship? Like how does that happen?
Normally, they always have something in common, be it work related, hobbies, or church, their Christian beliefs. And, you know,
Mm-hmm.
people always holler opposites attract, but I don't believe that. They attract for a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, for a minute. But after a while, you be like, he don't clean up. I keep the place clean. He don't do this. He don't do that. You know,
Yeah.
I balance my budget. He just spend money loosely. That's not no attraction.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. At all. Yeah, and you know what's interesting about that, and I asked that question because, and I write about this in my book too. I was that woman who, I guess you could say, kind of dragged the man to the altar because I was so pressed to get married. I was in a 5 year relationship, and then I got out of that and got into another relationship probably about the same week, same month, and then I got married 3 months later. And it wasn't even he
Okay.
didn't propose. It was hey, we were having a conversation on the phone. Hey, what do you think about when I come down there to visit you in December for Christmas? We just go ahead and get married. Like seriously, that's how my marriage proposal to him, really honestly, that's what it was. And so I was so determined to get married that I proposed it to him like this, like if we were having a business deal or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it was real crazy. And then, 3 years later, he just up and left. And then 2 years after that, we were divorced. So it's like, it doesn't end well when we try to, make things happen like that.
And when you proposed to him, he told his boys, "Yeah, I got this chick. I got her lock, stock, and barrel. It's on.
Hmm.
She
Yep.
asked me to marry her. She coming down here to get
Yep.
me." You know what I'm saying? I'm being
That's
real. That's what he told his boys, and they was like, "Man, you gonna marry?" He's like, "Hell yeah." Because it's flattering. I mean, it's flattering for a woman to ask a man to marry him, but then on the same token, he has upper hand by then.
yeah.
Because then he feel I can do what I want because she loved me. She pressed.
Yep. I was showing enough press. I went all the way to Florida to get that man, got a U-Haul truck, packed him all the way up, and moved him back to Maryland to live my happily ever after. Or so I thought.
Well, you can just come to Oxon Hill to get me. You don't have to go to.
You stupid.
And I see Angel sitting up there talking about she won't, but you never know what you will do. Especially you were younger, right?
Yeah. This was in 2009.
Oh, that wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't that long
But
ago.
no, well, it was a while ago. But my
It was.
point is, I see somebody put on here marriage is not a quick fix, and that's true. However, women be
It's
pressing the
not.
issue.
Yeah. That is so true.
Do you see
So true.
Coco's message?
What you say?
I see
I think
Coco
your
saying,
phone
knowing what
freezing
you
up.
know now. Do you see
My
Coco's message?
What did she say?
She's saying, knowing what you know now, would you ask a man to marry you again?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. I was just motivated by so many other things. I've learned so much from that experience. So absolutely not. No, that's definitely not the way that I want to do it. I'm in a different space, so I definitely, absolutely not, would not do it. No, I'm good. Yeah,
And
I had a lot going.
I think a lot of times, can you hear me? Look like it's
Mm-hmm.
freezing up. I think a lot of times women act like their clock is ticking and they see their
Mm-hmm.
other girlfriends who are lonely in their 40s and they don't
Yeah.
want to be like them. You
Mm-hmm.
got your
Mm-hmm.
girlfriend
Yeah.
who never goes to the movies, who
Mm-hmm.
has to go out by herself to dinner and nobody's calling and you like, I don't want to be like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So Coco says along those same lines, what do you think about women asking men out on dates? How do you feel about that if a woman came up to you and asked you out on a date?
I would accept it regardless how she looked because I would figure that she had the kahunas to do that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So
Um,
you said you
we're,
would.
yes,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
we're in a different world now. You have internet dating, speed dating, all that things that we wouldn't have never thought of doing. But it's different ways of meeting people. You're not always gonna meet somebody at the grocery store, the bar, or at church.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, so it's just, I honestly don't see the harm in that. I think if it's just like, hey, you want to go grab some coffee or something, I don't see anything wrong with that. I think now if that's you doing that throughout the course of the relationship, to me, that's more of you kind of running after the man or pursuing him because you would want him to desire to take you out and do those kind of things. So, but I don't see anything wrong with that initially. It's
Yeah,
not
I
like you
agree.
ask, hey, you want to go grab something to eat? I'm hungry, you hungry, let's be hungry together. I don't know.
Yeah, but a lot of women won't do that for fear that I think somebody said a man should lead on here somewhere. I think a
Mm-hmm.
lot of women won't do that because they're worried about that the man gonna take them for granted, as opposed to being bold and saying, "Yes, I'm gonna at least let him know I like him."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like you
Yeah.
said with the coffee thing, I think that's a great idea. I don't drink coffee, but that's a great idea.
Yeah. Just, it's harmless. Two friends going to get something to eat, that's all. Yeah. So it's not as big of a commitment as marriage. But it's just hanging out.
Somebody
So
said they met their husband at the repast of a funeral. Now that's a hell of a way to meet somebody.
I know that's right, Joanne. Yes.
Is
I
it
mean,
Joanne or Joan?
You meet a man anywhere.
Yes, yes. He crying and stuff, and he ain't heard napkin. I don't know how that worked, but
He
I,
rubbing his back. He okay? It's all right.
yeah, that's what happened. They both looked in the casket and said, "He gone now, but what about us?"
You said, "But what about us?"
Yeah, he gone now. I wonder was she dating the dude who died?
Oh, I hope not. No, maybe it was a family. Yeah,
I'm
you're so
just
silly.
kidding.
Let's move on to the next conversation.
Hold on, Coco says
So
she's on the
speaking of
fence with
that,
that one. What is Coco on the fence with?
oh, I think she's on the fence with asking a man out on a date. And
Okay, so
it's not everybody. Some people just believe in the man pursuing even in the beginning, and they see asking out on a date as a sense of pursuing. It just depends on preference. Whatever works for you.
all right,
So if it makes you uncomfortable, huh?
so Daryl put on here things have changed, but listen to this. So, and I'm gonna keep it real right here.
Mm-hmm.
So you're that woman who may not get a lot of guys trying to talk to you, trying to come on
Mm-hmm.
to you. You're not getting no hits basically. Nothing's
Uh-huh.
going on for the last year. So you get
Mm-hmm.
kind of desperate because you want to feel the love that other women and your friends love. So what do?
Mm-hmm.
Do you just sit there and wait year after year, or do you say, you know what, I'm gonna make a bold move, and
Yeah.
so I can meet me someone?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good question. A good point too. If it's someone who doesn't normally have people coming up to them, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't hurt, but it's like the person, like Gloria says, that's it's not in her DNA to ask a man out on a date. That's cool. It's you got to know what works for you. It's not about what society says, what other people are doing, what's the thing to do now. I think it's just if it's going to make you uncomfortable or if it's going against your belief system, then don't do it. Just
So
wait
so
for it to
now
do what it be.
go ahead. Now because you're too um, whatever, because of your female qualities, you don't want to ask
Mm-hmm.
no one out. So now we in year 3. You haven't dated nobody, you haven't went out with nobody, and
Mm-hmm.
after a while, I believe women become stern. They become cold
Mm-hmm.
faced because now they're angry and they don't even realize when a guy's really trying to flirt with them because they've been
Mm-hmm.
turned cold inside. Meanwhile,
Mm-hmm.
you're losing out on potential guys who you could probably flirt with a little bit. You don't have to necessarily ask them out. You can flirt with them
Yeah.
and move forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's I like that alternative. Like even if you don't want to ask them out, because Coco Rose says she feels like how you start a relationship is how it progresses. So if she was to take the lead on asking him out, she feels like she would be taking the lead throughout the relationship. What are your thoughts about that?
I disagree with that. It depends on the
Yeah.
individual because there's
Yeah.
always people, there's somebody every day that we like that we don't necessarily let them know. They may be
Mm-hmm.
at work, they may be at the coffee stand, they may be
Mm-hmm.
on the metro, but we're not going to go up and approach them, be it male or
Yeah.
female.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
may miss out.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things that we talked about, like Jared, the last Facebook Live I did with Jared, he was talking about just like he issued to women a single ladies compliment challenge. So just going out and just complimenting a man. You're not asking him out on a date. You're just saying, hey, you know what? I love that cologne, or I like your tie, or that's a really nice suit, or I like your haircut. Just a simple compliment, and then that may open the door to a conversation. So it's
That's
not.
basically what I'm saying. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So if you don't want to ask him out, just say, hey, you have a pretty smile or a nice smile or whatever, just to break the ice. And like you said, flirt or whatever. But it doesn't have to be so forward if that's not your thing. Hmm.
I think that one of the biggest problems in for women is that they
Hmm.
overlook the guys who don't look, who not body built and handsome and this and that,
Yeah.
and he
Hmm.
works a regular job and you making 6 figures somewhere. You Now
Hmm.
here's the difference. I will go in McDonald's and flirt with the girl at the cash register, but a woman
Hmm.
won't because she like,
Yeah.
I don't care how handsome he is. he ain't making but
Mm-hmm.
minimum wage. And that's the
Mm-hmm.
difference. And a lot of women overlook guys because of their job or their looks or what they
Mm-hmm.
perceive, and they miss out on a good man, and then they end up with the
Mm-hmm.
dude who cheats on them, and then they be
Mm-hmm.
saying, he wasn't nothing. Yeah, but it was a guy
Mm-hmm.
that liked you that just wasn't
Yeah.
necessarily your spill, but you overlooked
Yeah.
him because he didn't meet
Yeah.
your quote unquote qualifications. And one more thing I'm gonna say, and I'll let you talk. Once you
Mm-hmm.
get a certain age, you have to change your expectations. Not lower them, but you need to
Mm-hmm.
change them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when
And
you
you know
talk to
what?
women, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, finish. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, when you talk to women, you holler, yeah, you need to change your expectations. I'm not lowering my expectations. The word lower
Yeah.
never came out my mouth. You need to change your expectations because you're missing out
Mm-hmm.
on a good dude because he's
Mm-hmm.
not working a government job or six-figure job, or because he may have two kids already. We all have something negative in our background, and you're judging him,
Yeah.
and you haven't even got a chance to meet him.
That is, listen, let me tell you something. That's one of the questions I was going to ask. And it was something that I posted today because I think there are a lot of things that influences our desires. It could be society, just what society says you should be with. So if you go to college, you got this degree and you're making this money, then society says that you're supposed to be with a certain type of person. Or maybe in your upbringing, your mom was so focused on security. So get with a man who got a good job and da da da. And so in religion, so it's all these factors that come into play when we're talking about our desires. But how flexible are we with adjusting? Like you said, not settling, but making adjustments so that we're not boxing ourselves in so much to these standards that, you know what, when I really think about it, do I even want what society says I should have? Yeah, because I had a guy that had six figures and looked well on paper, but we weren't well together. So it's like, I think I totally agree that we have to be flexible and just open to different things that may not fit everything on that requirements list.
Yeah, because if you're looking at someone who has the same thing you have, he's looking for something better. So,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
That is, yeah.
if
That's
I'm
so funny
making,
to say that. I'm laughing because that's what my dude just said yesterday. So go ahead.
yeah. So if you want something better, why you think I don't want something better?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
if we both making six figures and I find somebody making seven figures,
Yeah.
you may be pretty and everything, but I want to come up too. And I think
Yeah.
we got to get out of this old mentality that the man leads the household and the man supposed to be the breadwinner and he should pay the mortgage and he should do this. Well, what you gonna do? Should
Yeah.
I pay the
Right.
mortgage if you make three times more than me? No.
Oh, that's a question. That's a good question. So let me ask that question. So let's say you make $60,000 a year. She makes $100,000 a year. Y'all come together, get married. How do you handle that? What's the breakout as far as the bills are concerned?
I want her to pay the mortgage.
You want her to pay the mortgage?
No, I'm
Okay.
kidding. No, but we need to leverage the bills so that the expectation should be that you would put in a little bit more than me towards the
Hmm.
bills. But we pool our money together to be
Hmm.
successful. But it shouldn't be, if
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
really in love and care about somebody, it don't matter how much they make.
Kim don't agree with you. What Kim say?
Well, Kim is a whole nother story. But Kim, but here's the thing. If you're making $40,000 in the scheme of things is not a whole lot of money. It would have to be a more significant amount.
Hmm.
But if your man makes what he makes, because here's the thing, you could get sick the next week and never be able to
Hmm.
work again, and he'd be the breadwinner, and you was petty all these years. Now
Yeah.
what? You don't know
Yeah.
where life's gonna take you.
That is so true. I think the main thing is that both have a conversation, and then they have a conversation about, because it's going to differ for different people. Some people will say no, the man should pay, and the man feels like he should pay. It doesn't matter. on what it is, but I think both individuals will have to come to an agreement of what works best for them so they can both come out on top, in the end, and continue to move forward in the marriage. But yeah, but when we come into a situation with those expectations, though, I think that's what causes the issue. Like, no, you're supposed to do this and you're supposed to do that. And it's like, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I see Coco put on here, she old fashioned. She believes a man should lead the household. Leading
Okay,
the
look.
household and running the money is two different, and making the money is two different things. So let me tell you this, and it's about to blow up now. When a black woman makes more than the brother, oh, she running the household.
Ah.
And you ask
Why
and ask
do you say
the
that?
guys, ask the guy, because when black women making more money, they want to control everything. Oh, we're gonna do this in here. We're gonna do that. Our kids going to this school, and yeah, you're there, but
Mm-hmm.
and you can't say that about all, because I know people about to say all, but a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the black women, when they make the most money, oh, they gonna tell you how it's gonna go down.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then that's
Yeah.
when the beef start, because now he feeling less than a man, because because a man already feels a little bad when his woman makes more. But it's even worse.
Uh-huh.
Now she's sitting up here telling you how we running this house. And black women
Ah.
don't want to get that up. And they can say what they want, but that's my opinion.
Don't put all us in the same category. All of
And
us is
somebody
not
put
like
some
that.
of them. I said some. I said some. You
Okay.
can't say all about
Okay.
anybody. You got girlfriends, you know.
Okay. All right. So we do. Huh?
Huh?
What you say? What you
She
say?
said some. I'm reading the thing. Some of them, yeah, some lose respect. You can't help what you make. You
Yeah.
make what you make. When I come into this relationship, I make
Mm-hmm.
$40,000. If I get a raise, promotion, fine. And all right, so you making
Mm-hmm.
75. But let me be the man of the house. If you not, then I ain't even coming in. Because
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
when the
Yeah.
financial decisions need to be made, the person who makes
Mm-hmm.
the most money is gonna make those decisions.
Mm-mm. So, yeah. Okay.
I'm getting mad
You getting mad? No.
because I know a lot of yeah, I know a lot of brothers who make less money than their female spouses, and they have to deal with it.
Yeah. It all goes to respect. I won't say that you said some, so I won't say that that's the case for everybody, but it all goes back to respect. Like, really us respecting each other. So if I'm used to, I know when I was married, I was making more than my husband, and I was responsible for the monies, for the budgeting. So I did feel a sense of control. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm keeping it real. So I did feel a sense of control and felt like, oh, okay, I'm gonna give you this or whatever. But I also realized that I lacked respect for him. So I learned that in that situation so that I can check myself, in the future, whenever I do get married again, whether I make more money than he does or not, that I got to check myself and make sure that I'm, walking in humility and not making myself higher than, I ought to be, that we're all on a level playing field. Because like you said, what if I lose my job and then he's the breadwinner, and the only one? So then my little six figures don't mean nothing because I don't have it
No,
anymore.
no. And then, so does the shift in the house change now that you're not making as much? Now I'm making 60,000, you making 40. Now I'm gonna start telling you how we doing things.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
I see I ain't see a girl name. She said her husband don't drive and he a kept man or something. I
Oh, I didn't.
I wanted to respond to that, but it's already gone. But
Okay.
the reality is, when you love someone, the money don't count. And when you look at the statistics,
Mm-hmm.
marriages mostly fail because of finances
Yeah, yeah.
and obviously affairs as well. So let's talk about affairs, because I know you can't have a conversation with African American women and not talk about affairs. So
Okay, let's go there.
let's talk about affairs. You ask the
Okay,
questions and I'll respond accordingly.
okay. What about it? What you want to say? You ask first.
No, I think
You brought it up. Go ahead.
my buddy Daryl's on here. I think that a lot of black women have
Mm-hmm.
been negatively impacted by the numerous affairs that's been had on them. So when they
So,
meet new guys, they
mhm.
already insecure. Do you watch the show Insecure?
Yep, I did. Yep.
So a lot of African American women, especially when they get in their 40s and later, they have been
Hmm.
damaged so much because of being left with kids and the infidelity and the whatever, alcoholism, whatever you want to call it. So
Yeah.
then when they meet that new guy, he doesn't stand
Hmm.
a chance because they're bad. They're
Yeah.
beating women
Yeah.
who's never been punched.
Hmm. Hmm. Whew, let me tell you. Okay, so this gonna be keeping
Woo!
it real.
Woo! Let me get a
Because
drink.
in my in my marriage, I experienced being cheated on, and that is something that is very, like, it catches you off guard, especially when you don't know it, when you don't see it coming. It catches you off guard, and it creates this sense of distrust. I won't say it creates, maybe it adds to it, this sense of distrust. So it was very hard for me to trust again, and it's a practice. Like, even in this relationship that I'm in now, it showed up, in the beginning, like little stuff I would just pick up on. But it was like I had to check myself and be like, all right, I'm really tripping, and even have a conversation with him and be real about where it was coming from for me. Because it was just like, where's all this coming from? I haven't given you any reason to believe that. So I had to look at myself and be like, okay, where is that coming from? And I realized I was still carrying, the hurt from being cheated on. So I'm having to work through that myself, because it's not fair to bring that, or to make someone else pay for something that they didn't do. But I think as women, we got to deal with that stuff. We really got to deal with it, going to counseling or prayer, whatever works for you. But I know therapy and, prayer really works for me. So, but I had to be honest that it was still bothering me, even though I've been divorced like 4 years. It was still bothering me.
Yeah, because as soon as his phone go off and he look at it funny or a text or he put his phone down to the side, oh, here we
Yeah.
go again.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it really requires
There's
communication.
there's a disposition of here we go again. And if you talk to 10 women, 7 of them been cheated on.
Hmm.
And the older you get, the
Yeah.
more odds it's gonna happen.
Hmm. Yeah.
And
It's real. I mean, it's a real thing.
yeah,
But now, what about women cheating on men? Because it happens on both sides. Now, how does a man deal with that?
you cut off. You don't exist
I'm
anymore.
talking about in the next relationship. How do you deal with that when you go into a new relationship?
Oh, we bounce back quick because we
What you? What happened to the? Oh Lord, what happened to Craig? Y'all, Craig done left his phone bootleg. Let me see. Craig done left the building. Mm. What happened to y'all? Craig is gone, and I don't know how to get him back on here. This was so good, and it's just gone. Craig, what happened? His phone must have died or something. Lord, we were in the middle of the conversation, talking about cheating. Oh man, I don't know what to do, y'all. I'm stuck. I think his phone must have died. I know it was great, right? Let me see. Let me see. I'm gonna message him and see if I can get him back on here. Yeah, but so Patrice, you said men don't bounce back. I agree. Some of them, they deal with it just like we do. They try to go on to the next person. A lot of them, I won't say all of them, but many of them try to go on to the next person and try to get over the one that they were with. But I agree. They have feelings too, so they don't always just bounce back like that. They do take it hard. They vent at work, at the barbershop, on the basketball court, any place where someone will listen. I agree, Gloria. So we're gonna try to figure out how to get Craig back on here, y'all. I don't know how to get you back on here, Craig. Oh Lord, I don't want to end this. Let me see. Let me see. Hello? Okay, hold on, y'all. We coming. We trying to figure out. We might have to just get you on. Okay, so I don't know how to get you on. Do you see something on your screen that asks you to join the Facebook Live conversation?
Send me video chat with you. No. Send it. Can you send it back to me?
No, because it says I already sent it to you, so it won't let me do it again.
I don't see nothing.
At the bottom of your screen, is nothing there.
Siobhan missed the video chat with you. Nope.
You gotta go to the Facebook Live. Okay, we may have to. Okay, y'all, look, this Craig right here. We may have to do it this way. I don't know what else to do.
Can they see me?
Yeah, if I put it like this. Y'all see Craig say, "Hey, Craig."
Well, turn around so I can see you though.
I know they said tell you to hit the camera. If you go to the Facebook Live, can you hit the camera that asks you to join the conversation? You see?
So I need to go back to that
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Go back to Facebook Live, to my Facebook Live. See if you can get on there. It'll be a camera in front of
This
the
was
light.
like a video though. This was a video.
Huh? Go back to Facebook Live. You gotta go on my page. This is hilarious.
You see me?
Huh? I
You
don't.
see me?
No, I'm talking about in the Facebook Live. Did you go on there and join the conversation?
Hold on, let me see. I don't know how to do it.
Go
Let
on.
me get out of this.
Okay, go on my page. Okay, y'all. So we having some. Craig in his 50s, so you know, no shade to anybody else in their 50s, but you know, he having a little technical difficulties right now. So we're gonna get back. So what else y'all saying? We'll get him back because we gotta finish. I want to hear what he has to say about this cheating thing and why he feel like men bounce back. Why he say men bounce back, because we got to get this. So y'all hold tight just a second. Any more things y'all had to say? Oh, so Coco Rowe, you said, yep, this guy wrote a book and said men don't heal, they hoe. Oh, Lord, that's the name of the book? Well, I guess he keeping it 100. Man, that's a bestseller just by the title. Okay, so Craig, do you see a camera next to the thumbs up button next to your name? Do you see a camera that you can hit that? Hit the camera next to where you see your comment. Let me see if I could try to invite you there. No, it's not gonna let me invite you because it says already sent. So you gotta ask to join. Do you see it? I don't know how to tell you where it is. This is so unfortunate. You don't see it. Okay. I don't know. So we just gonna have to get you back on the Facebook Messenger. Yeah, post a picture of that Kokoro, because that's interesting. So we just gonna get you back on Messenger, Craig, because we ain't finna be doing this all night trying to get you back on here. I'm gonna video chat you again, and the people just gonna have to Okay, so it was next to the comment box, but it's okay. We'll just do it this way.
I didn't see it on there.
You didn't see it. That's fine. So I'm gonna hold your picture up like this. This is so funny.
I need you to clean that table off when you get a chance.
Don't do it. People can't see that table. Hush. So finish what you were saying about
Can they see me?
Huh?
Can they see me?
They see you. So finish what you were saying about how men bounce back.
Well, I think men bounce back quicker because, you know, when you see a man and a woman break up, normally the man is in a relationship sooner.
Mm-hmm.
His way of bouncing back is just meeting a new young lady. Mm-hmm. With women, they have to think about it and they have to, you know, heal, and men heal by meeting another woman.
Now, is that really healing, or is that really using somebody else to get over?
It's a little of both.
Because I feel like that's not fair. If you're not over the person that you were in a relationship with, why bring somebody else into the situation? You know what I mean? Like, that just doesn't seem fair. You're using that person.
Well, you already cheated, so you was using them anyway.
Yeah, I guess so.
So
So
yeah.
so
I
then,
mean, and I'm not.
huh?
Go ahead.
No. So does he ever get over it then? If he just continue to go from person to person, when does he ever take the time to really heal? How does he do that?
He drinks.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm kidding about that.
No, you're not.
I mean, don't get me wrong, because a man will fall in love, and then most of the times, the next relationship's not going to last long because he's still thinking about the last person, and he know he messed up.
Yeah.
And to me, if you're going to take a man back who's had an affair on you, Hillary Clinton or anybody else, you have to be able to forgive, period. You don't forget, but you have to forgive.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
When you see marriages that's 30 and 40 years long, there's been a lot of affairs going on. Well, at least one affair that's been swept under the rug.
Yeah.
Over time.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So if you're gonna get back with him, don't be beating him up over the head with it. But it's tough, when you're hurt. It's like you just, I don't know. It takes some time to work through it if you choose to stay with the person.
Right, and women become detectives. All of a sudden, they're checking your phone. They ride past your house. The whole nine. And then all you're doing is hurting yourself more.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, you know what, this guy had an affair on me. I'm going to leave him alone, or I'm going to work it out.
Yeah.
But you need to make up in your mind and just do it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
There's a lot of women on this call, and period, not all, I'm going to say not all again, who will say, he cheated on me, we done. No, you don't. You're not done.
Why you say that? Why do you say that they're not done?
Women are more forgiving. When a man gets cheated on, it's pretty much over. But when women, we all know women who've been cheated on numerous occasions, and they still with the dude. You like, why?
Yeah. Gloria said, can you truly forgive if you don't forget?
Can you truly forgive if you don't forget? Yes. We as African Americans have forgave those, the Anglo-Saxons for all they've done for us, but we haven't forgotten.
Yeah, because I don't think forgiveness means you forget, you get amnesia. I think it's just, you're choosing to work through what happened and just look forward towards the future and release them from, wanting to get back and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think you forget about it. It's just, what do you do when that memory comes up? That's the question. What do you do with that hurt or that anger when it does come up, when you feel triggered? Because we get triggered by certain things. You never know what will cause you to remember, but it's like, what do you do with that? How do you respond, or how do you react?
And then hopefully you went to counseling and they've given you tools when those situations come up.
Yeah.
But a lot of times we try to work it out ourselves and just make it worse.
Yeah, that's true. I am a big person on counseling. Please, everybody.
So am I.
Yeah.
A big proponent of counseling because, and you know what? A lot of people be like, I'm going to pray. Yeah, prayer is awesome.
Yeah.
But even God put counselors on this earth to assist us where we are weak or where we need assistance. And I think counseling is still taboo in the Black community.
Yeah, I think so too, because we learn so much in the church of how to deal with our spirit, but the therapy is really dealing with our soul. Like, you can use the spirit, but the soul is what needs, the healing. Not to say that you can't pray and your soul can't get healed, but there are certain things that we need to deal with, prayer and, that emotional work that I don't think is talked about a lot in church.
You're absolutely right. I couldn't have put it no better. But I think that when you come to the point where If he cheat on me, I ain't doing this. If he blow my money, I ain't doing this. We over.
Yeah.
And as you get older, and when you get older, a lot of people have screwed over you over time.
Yeah.
So you need to be more flexible than just throwing in the towel because something happens.
Right. Yeah. That's the truth. Because it's like, just learning how to work through things, That's the main thing.
And I'm going to say this, and I guess we need to get ready to come to a close, but a lot of women, and they worry about what other people going to think.
Yeah.
The people who aren't paying their bills, the people who aren't in their homes,
Yeah.
the people who aren't praying for them. So they got to send a message to their family, friends, and girlfriends that I ain't putting up with this, so I'm putting him out, I'm going to do this and that.
Right.
No, nobody has your best interest at heart but you. And probably your parents or whatever.
Yeah.
But you have to make your own decisions because ultimately you're going to be the one who's going to deal with the consequences or the accolades at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to do what feels best for you, and nobody can tell you what to do. Nobody knows what you're supposed to do but you. Because you got to, like you said, you got to live with that decision. You got to live with that person. So if that's what you're choosing to do, they can tell you, oh, don't do it. But if you're feeling in your heart that that's what you're supposed to do, or that's what you desire to do, then who can say anything else?
I remember one of the posts that you had, and this was recently, where the young lady, the guy had cheated on his girlfriend, and his wife wanted him to bring the mistress into the counselor. You remember that post?
I don't think I posted that, but that's a good
one.
one.
Well, maybe you didn't post it. Somebody else may have posted it. I thought it was you. But apparently the guy cheated on his girlfriend and his wife suggested that they bring the mistress into the counselor so they all discuss it.
Wow.
I thought that was the craziest thing I ever heard.
What are they going to discuss? Like what all, just to get it out in the air, in the open? But
there's nothing to discuss. Why would I sit there and for you to say, oh, that's where you was on Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what she thought she was going to get out of it, but it didn't make sense to me.
No. Because that could, that to have a counseling session with the husband and the one he cheated with, I don't know what that would accomplish other than getting all the truth out. Donna said it was healing. So maybe it was just a healing conversation where everybody put everything out on the table. No.
It wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
Because after a while, the anger started kicking in.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, so you was with that B on this day and this, that, and other? So that wouldn't work. But I want to applaud you for having these events and the work that you do with the sisters. I see it on Facebook, and you're just inspiration to me. And I'm sure to your friends, and I've met Angel, and of course, Stacy.
Stacy, yeah.
Stacy. I talked to her this morning.
You did.
So keep on doing what you're doing. You're awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate you, and thank you for having this conversation with me. Even though we had some technical difficulties towards the end, so that's why you don't see Craig, because I'm holding the iPad talking to him via Facebook Messenger. We had some challenges, but this was still a good conversation. I hope you all got something out of it. So if you want to tune in to all of the other conversations with the other men that I talked to this month, you can go to my page, Walking in Wholeness LLC, on Facebook, and I posted all the videos, and I'll put the link down here as well. And next month is going to be Married Men every Wednesday in October. I'll be talking to married men about relationships, so that's going to be really good. So tune in, 8 o'clock. And thank you, Craig.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
All right, take care. We'll be talking.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye, y'all.